On here right now. Go ahead and do an introduction. Tell us who you are, Michelle.
Well, I'm Michelle Field. Currently, I am an interview specialist, and I work also heavily with Boy Scouts. I've taught communication skills for about the last 30 years and worked with a variety of different groups everywhere from preschool through adults, and really just love communication skills and think that they're really, really important for everyone to have.
Mm-hmm. And you're also a former Miss Colorado too, right? Miss Beauty Pageant.
Well, have held two titles. I was Mrs. Colorado International 2009, and then I finally won a national title in 2012. I was Ms. United America Classic, which was a division that was for women over the age of 40. So I'm proud of both of those titles.
Well, that's great. So, what inspired you to actually do the beauty pageant? What inspired you to do this?
Well, I actually did a couple of pageants in high school. I received the letter in the mail that said, "You've been nominated," which I later found out that just about every girl in my high school had been nominated to attend this pageant. But that was neither here nor there. I was so excited to compete.
Mm-hmm.
And so I actually competed 2 years in a row. I was Miss Photogenic the first year that I entered, and then the second year I actually made top 20, and I attribute that to having worked with a pageant coach. Now, she wasn't actually a formal pageant coach, but she was a young woman who had competed in pageants and was able to help me out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Then, to kind of fast forward, I went into college, really didn't have any idea how to compete further, and got married literally a week and a half after graduating from college. And at that point, I thought my pageant days were over. I thought, there's no way I'll ever be able to compete again because pageants are only for unmarried women. Now, fast forward again about 20 years later, and I discovered that there are pageants for married women. I was surprised. And I was also excited. And it has been several very difficult years for me. We had lost my father to prostate cancer. We had been involved in a really bad car accident that left my middle son with a skull fracture and brain injury. There had just been a lot of things that had been going on in my life, and I decided it was time to do something just for me. So although a lot of young women compete in pageants for other reasons, mine was completely selfish. I needed to do something for myself. And so I entered my first Mrs. Pageant in, I believe it was 2007, had a great time, again, didn't even place top 20, took a step back, found out that there were several pageant systems for married women, and found one that was a better fit, again, worked with a pageant coach, and won. That was the year that I finally won Mrs. Colorado International 2009. So, although, like I said, a lot of women have maybe a platform or something that they really want to get the word out there, my reason for competing was completely and utterly selfish. And that's not to say that when I competed in Mrs. Colorado International, I didn't have a platform. My platform at that time was Boy Scouts of America. So I did go on to develop that sort of thing, but yes, in the beginning, it was completely and utterly selfish. I needed to do something for myself.
And you did. Oh, that's interesting. And why Miss America? Why Miss America pageant? Why that?
Okay, it was the international pageant system. What I really loved about the international pageant system was that it was platform-based. This gave me something to reach out outside of myself. I had already been very active with Boy Scouts for years. My husband is an Eagle Scout. At this point, I have 2 boys now that are Eagle Scouts. My youngest is a Life Scout and will probably have his Eagle within the year. But I needed something, to me, in a pageant system that was more than just a pretty face or based on looks. And also, the other thing I liked about the international pageant system was that for fitness, where we didn't compete in a swimsuit, we actually competed in what's called aerobic wear, or shorts and a top. more appropriate for married women. And that's not to say anything bad about the pageant systems that do have the women compete in swimsuits. I think it takes incredible poise to get up on a stage in a swimsuit and a pair of high heels and show off the hard work that has been done. But for me, personally, that was just a better fit with who I am.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, I mean, but you did it though. I mean, that's really cool. And what can you say to women who actually feel like I couldn't believe I watched part of the Grammys from a recap of the Grammys. I didn't watch the Grammys. I watched a recap of it, and they're talking about Beyonce. They're talking about Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, and I saw the new Paris Hilton Harvey commercials with Carl's Jr. and Paris Hilton Harvey. It's just outrageous, this is what women have to be like to be successful. I mean, if this is what they have to be like. I want to get a clear grasp on this, and the news media is telling us today. This is from this is from the U.S. Today, saying that women today now have to be like to be successful. Women have to be like Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, Kim Kardashian, and Mickey Cyrus. What do you say to women like this?
I would have to disagree. I think that women can be successful in a variety of different ways. There's no reason for women to feel the need to take off all their clothes and become a sex object. On the other hand, I think that there is tremendous freedom of expression that is out there today for women, that there's so many different varieties of clothing that's out there that women can wear that will flatter a variety of different body shapes and sizes. I think one of the things that I love about the world population is we come in so many different shapes, sizes, colors, hair type, eye color, and we all have different styles. And I think that one of the best things about living in today's day and age is there is so much variety and style out there today. There's everything from the people who love to wear the vintage clothing to the high fashion to the mom who stays at home and wears her sweats and her t-shirt or yoga pants to the high fashion suit.
Right.
I believe that there are different uniforms that need to be worn for the appropriate job that's being done. So women today can hold a variety of roles. And again, getting back to that, moms, when I had small children, to wear any